What's happening, my bro? You alright?
I'm blessed, man. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming, man. I appreciate it. I know you're a busy man out here. I really appreciate you coming through, sharing too much information, sharing some of your life story, sharing how you made it to kind of where you are. So let's get started.
Cool. Where do you want to start?
To be fair, I usually always start family.
Okay.
So I usually start kind of background. So parents, we raise both parents. One, how was your thing pattern?
I was raised with both parents, but they separated after I was born.
Okay.
My mother and father didn't see that life was working anymore, so they were together for like 10 years before. They had my older brother, who's 6 years older than me.
Right.
And then after my father left when I was about 1, and he moved to East London. He found my stepmom. So I was in between the two homes. My father lived in East London, my mother lived in South London, and when I was like 13, then I went to live with my father and my stepmom, and it was cool. I lived with them until I was 17, and then I went back to my mum's until I was 18, then I left home, and then never looked back, travelled and did a lot of stuff. But my parents are cool. Both of Jamaican heritage. Both. Okay. My mum was born here though, in Birmingham.
Okay.
Yeah, she's crazy, man. She was born right next to a mental hospital.
Swear down.
Or no, one of them anyway. My brother was born next to a prison, and my mum was born next to a mental hospital.
Okay.
Yeah, so crazy family. My dad is like from the country in Jamaica, countryside, whereas my mum's from the city. And she moved to Jamaica when she was a baby and stayed there till she's like 19, 20 and came back. Yeah.
Did they meet here or did they meet?
They met here. Okay. They met here in Birmingham, where my mum was born.
Okay.
And my older brother as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Got a couple of siblings as well, younger siblings, 2 younger sisters, and then my dad's got like he's got 12 kids, and I'm number 12 of his 12 kids.
So you're the youngest
of my dad.
No way.
Second on my mum.
Okay. Yeah, that's right still. Yeah. Okay. And so what's the relationship like with both parents now?
There really isn't one, honestly, because I chose my own path, and in choosing your own path, sometimes some people don't agree with who you're becoming because it's no longer who they recognize and who they know. Okay. So they have their own life and their own lifestyle. So I respect that, and my father respects mine. My mother not so. She wants me to choose a path that she's happy with. So from them, we haven't really had a relationship, in all honesty.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's been about a year. Yeah.
That you've had no contact at all. And before that, were you pretty close?
Not really. With my dad, yeah. With my mum, on and off.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't like cemented maternal bonds. It was more like we were cool when we got along, and when we didn't get along, there wasn't any getting along.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's almost like now that this separation has happened, it hasn't impacted you as much as maybe it would impact somebody else.
Yeah.
In the day-to-day, thinking about it all the time kind of way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've just become. I don't have any expectations of anyone, so that way I'm not let down by others' expectations of me, or the way that they have expectations on their own life. I allow people to be themselves because I choose to be free, so I choose to allow others to be free as well in that respect.
No, I respect that. All right. What about little ones? You got any little ones? The hesitation.
No, it's not hesitation. That's a story for off the camera.
Okay.
And I'll be 100% honest with you. Actually, no. Alright then, let's just be honest. It's just a complete transparent podcast. So I have a daughter who is 12.
Okay.
And I haven't seen her in 11 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's intense.
And the last time I went to try and see her, I nearly lost my life.
Okay.
So that's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's intense. Sorry about that, my bro.
Nah, that's cool, man.
That's
It's
big.
life. It's life.
Yeah, I hear you. It's life for a lot of people, for real.
You live, you learn. Experiences help you to grow, to be the best version of yourself.
No, fair play. Is that something that has impacted your decision making when it comes to future partners since then?
Oh, definitely.
How so?
Definitely.
How so?
From then, it was just like, I'm not having any children until I know that it's right for me. Not if it's right for someone else. If it's right for me and it's right for them, then we'll just move together in synchronicity. But if it's not, then I ain't got time to waste, because when my daughter comes to find me or comes to see me, I want to be the person that can stand up and look her in the eyes and be honest and be like, look, okay, this is what happened. I was of this mentality then. This is me now. So here's something to help you start your life, because I built this. So I don't really have any time for nonsense. It's like if you got a Mac computer in it, you can just slide over the file and pull it into the trash in it. So if it's trash, I ain't got time. Simple. And if it's gold, then yeah, I'm cool. Doesn't matter if it's in the dirt.
So do you feel like in the past you have made decisions in relationships due to almost do you feel like your decisions were influenced by the need of somebody else rather than putting yourself forward? And is that something that has kind of made you...
Not really, because what the situation has done, it's helped me to develop into a person that can be unapologetically themselves. So with all the life experiences, it helped me to grow. So now I can make a decision which is in the best interest of myself, in the interest of my self-love, my self-worth, and my value, and in knowing that as well. So once I know that, then I can make better decisions. I can make decisions which allow me to have only excellence in my life and nothing less. I don't want to settle for anything less. I don't want anything less. I only want the best, and I deserve the best, and I'm going to have the best, and I will have the best, and I am the best. It's that simple.
I hear you. I hear you still. I hear you. You're ever the positive. You ever got that positive energy. I rate it.
Thank you. Life has caused to grow within me because of not just that particular situation, but more, because all of them add up. So it's like, if you're an artist, if you're a musician, you have to put the notes together with the silence, and that's what allows the music to flourish, and that's what allows people to appreciate the music. So with all the experiences, once I've added them up and I've seen them for what they are, and I've accepted my responsibility for being a part of it, then I can move forward with truth rather than with an image that I want to portray of the situation. Just accept it for what it is.
Powerful. I'm rating it.
Thank you.
School was alright. Did you enjoy it? Was that something that is that something you enjoyed? You know, a lot of people don't enjoy them times.
No,
some people
was fun.
do.
School was fun. We did a lot of madness in school. Okay. I don't know if any of my teachers will watch this soon, but I remember we broke the school organ.
Right.
And this thing cost 70 grand or 79. And it was like, we were in the assembly hall, so we used to just do a lot of madness. We used to run around, spray fire extinguishers, and do all sorts of madness. It was fun. I learned. It wasn't something that taught me anything, because it was trying to force me of how to think, rather than allowing me to flourish and be who I am, and teach me to embrace who I am, so I can take it forward with transferable skills into life. So it didn't do anything in that instance, but in terms of growth and development, it allowed me to be a strong character, because I went to a boys' school. Yeah, and when you're around so many guys, and then everybody's like full of testosterone and ego, and saying this is like this, and everybody's standing with conviction and their truth, then you need to learn how to stand in your conviction and your truth. So it was fun, man. And I remember, like, because we went to all boys school, all the boys fancied the French teacher, and I played for all the sports teams in schools. I was considered the most humorous in year 11, as well as the most moany at the same time. So I got the certificates for those as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, school was fun, man.
And now we're going into, I don't want to say adolescence, I want to say more, let's say young adulthood.
Yeah.
So maybe you're finding yourself, maybe you're finding your feet, maybe you're getting into relationships. How was that transition for you?
So I hit 16 and it was like, yeah, man, I left school. I went to college. I went to an all-boys school and that. So it's like, wow, there's gal here. What? Oh my days. Life is fun now. So yeah, I got excited. I went to learn. I did get my qualifications in college, but I just hit a point of, because in year 9, I know it's going back a bit, but it's giving the backstory. So in year 9, I got kicked out of the school football team and all the sports teams because I was always outside the deputy's head office or head teacher's office or someone else's office. And that wasn't because I was bad, that was because I used to answer back teachers. Hence the most moaning part. So if the teacher would be like, you're not gonna make anything of your life, I'd be like, but you're a teacher on 24 grand, so what are you saying?
Yeah.
They wouldn't like that, so I get kicked out. So when I got to college now, my focus wasn't on sports anymore, it's more on women. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. Relationships were a lot because I was growing within myself, but I was being free within myself. That makes sense.
So you're learning who you were.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Through a lot of experiences.
It's like I think that's the best way. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you've made it to college. You're experiencing all these new things. When do you start to? Were you somebody that started to think about relationships early, or were you somebody that kind of, even though you were having fun and you wanted to stay in that fun life, or did you end up in a relationship?
Yeah, I did. So with the daughter situation that we was talking about earlier, so I met her mum when we were children and we got together in college. So we was together from like when I was 18 till 20. And so I was in a relationship. I wasn't faithful in a relationship, but I was in a relationship. But when my daughter came around, I was faithful then, and things changed. She decided to take her own path, and so I was open. I've always generally been open. So relationships are fine because you learn to grow, you learn to build, and I've had a few through life which have taught me about myself, which has been beautiful.
So is that relationship there the longest relationship you've been in?
No, my longest relationship would have been to my ex-wife. That was 6 years. We were together 4 years 2 years at first, and then we got married, and then we were married for 4 years. So all in all, 6 years. Yeah.
6 years. So you're not married now?
No.
So is that something that I can delve into? Do you
delve
mind?
In.
All right. So you said you was together 2 years before you got married.
Yeah.
What was that 2 years like?
2 years were fun because when we first met, I was still very playful and experiencing life. So it was like learning to appreciate who and what I have and who's in front of me and what's in front of me. So I was learning that, and it taught me my own values, and it taught me to understand what do I really want. And it was beautiful. Like I would tell anyone, marriage is beautiful regardless of being divorced or not. And yeah, the first 2 years was really fun, man. It was nice. It was like we were like Bonnie and Clyde, so we would just go do anything, like ride together, eat together, just make life together, and just having lots of fun.
So then you obviously I presume you proposed.
Yeah.
Okay. So you proposed. You get married.
Yeah.
Did everything change?
Yeah.
Straight away? I mean, straight away?
First year was heaven. I was waited on, and it's like, I'm not used to this. This is kind of nice. Still, I appreciate this treatment. I feel like a king right now. feeling really kingish. So like, I'll have like a mat spread out for me, food trays, different plates, salads, homemade chili. It was just life. It was just like fruit shake. I was like, yo, is this life from now on? Yo, I like this. That's the first year.
And then what? It changed.
And then but she was ill, so I don't blame her for it changing. It changed because I had to in turn return that now.
Okay.
Because she became ill and it was a chronic illness. So it was hard for her to like move and to be mobile through life. So I would have to go to. So now so in the first 2 years we had a cupcake business. We was doing it. We were driving around. We're delivering around London. It was nice. It was amazing. We was making money. And then I wanted to be a personal trainer and a football agent, so I did it. And so now, when she was ill, I would go in the morning, train football players really, really early, like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, then go straight to work. And in my break of work, I'll eat in 10 minutes and go to gym for 50 minutes and come back and finish my shift. And then go home, bath her, or shower her to make sure she's okay, cook for her, clean the house, and then take her on a drive so she gets fresh air. So that's how life became for like the next couple of years, because she was ill a lot. So yeah, it taught me about me. It taught me to appreciate.
That's what I'm gonna say. What did it take? It taught you to appreciate what
me and
about
her.
Yourself.
It taught me to appreciate myself and her, and to take care of responsibility, because life is, as much as I love myself, but in loving myself, I can love another. So I was able to love her, and I could do that with ease and grace, because she deserves it. This woman did the same for me and would do the same for me. And when she was able to, she did. So for me, it was like, okay, it's cool. Yeah. Let's do this. Like, if you can do certain things, you do those things. But if you can't, you just chill, relax, and I'll take care of it. But I wasn't sleeping. I was sleeping like 1-2 hours a day. Okay. After we come home from the drive, we'll watch a film or whatever, and then until she could fall asleep. And then when she falls asleep, I'll fall asleep for an hour or two, bang, get up, straight back out again. Same thing every day.
So was that what caused the relationship to end? Was there another reason? We
loved each other too much that we forgot to love ourselves, and it became toxic. And then when it becomes toxic, it got to the point where she left and went somewhere to go and be with family because they were ill at the time. And then I asked her if she could come back, and she said that it wasn't the time to think about us. So I was like, okay, cool. So I was like, not coming back. Like, no, all right, then cool. I'm gone then. And she's like, what do you mean? 2 days later, I booked a ticket, left the country with £100 in my pocket and went to Thailand. That's it. It's like, it's done now, innit? I gave up everything. Gave up the flat, gave up the car, don't need it. Because I only kept this so you're secure that now I can be free and travel, and even with £100 in my pocket.
Okay. Right. So, I'm just like, okay. Like, in theory, I get it. Like, I feel like I'm a pretty free-spirited person. Before I met my wife, I felt like I've always used to say to my god brother the same thing. Like, I'll just get up one day and I could just go. And just go, like you say, £100 in my pocket and just be somewhere. So, when you say that to me, it's like, to me, it sounds like it was almost pain that caused you to do that.
It was a break. Hurt. It was a break in myself, wasn't it? Because I was burnt at both ends, because I was physically exhausted and mentally exhausted. So I snapped, because no person in their sane mind would just go to another continent with just £100 in their pocket. Yeah. In reality, if you're gonna go away, you're gonna go away. Make sure that you're secure. But I was like, I don't care, it's gonna work. So I just went, just like that.
So how long did you go for?
I was there for 4 months. The last month was free because I was in Thai prison.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that for?
Overstayed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I overstayed 64 days. So I went to the visa office because I was a football agent. So it's like, cool, I can set up business out here. I've got connects like through LinkedIn and stuff like that. So I set up a few business meetings and I got something successful. So I was going to work with a football coach from the UK and an ex-professional footballer out there. Mm-hmm. These guys were cool. When I met them, they just loved my energy because I was just like, I don't care. I'm going to, you know, whatever, let's just go with the flow. So they respected that. So there was like, if you're going to work with us, for us to legally pay you, have to sort your visa out. Because I told them the situation. And then I was like, okay, cool. And then when I went to fix it now, there was like, it's going to cost the equivalent of like £50. And I was like, cool, no worries, I got that. That's nothing, innit? It's only £50. Yeah. And like when you work out the currency exchange, yeah. And then then there's like, let me see your passport. I gave them my passport now. And there's like, wait here 1 minute. So I turn around, 4 officers are behind me and like, what do you want to do? Do you want to pay or get in the car? And I was like, well, I don't have the money on me right now per se on my person. It's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to pay or get in the car? I was like, okay, get in the car then. And then yeah, I was in the car and ended up in there for a month.
And what was that like?
Beautiful. Wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, but
I was gonna say.
It was fun. Nah, seriously, the first cell, it was mad. So they threw me in the cell on the border of Mesai, which is called Burma. Okay. So to the west we call it Burma. To them it's called Mesai. Mesai is the border, to Burma. And so I went in this holding cell. And then they saw I had a beard and that. So there's like, there was like, here you go, eat pork. I was like, okay, it's this kind of treatment.
They thought you was a
Muslim, yeah. Okay. Just like, eat pork. I was like, fair enough. Here's some extra money. Can you get me some other food, please? Yeah. And then they went and got the food. I was just paying off everybody. So for the first 3 days, I was in a cell with like 7 other guys. And the first night, not one of them spoke English. They were all from Burma and they were all speaking in Burmese. And it was like, okay, I'm in this place by myself and I can't get out. I don't have my passport. And where I need to go toilet is where I need to brush my teeth. So, and shower. So I was like, I'll pee, but I'm gonna not brush my teeth or go toilet for 3 days, which I did. And then I went to court. And then they took me to the court. So when I got to court, it was like, they took me in front of a judge at some desk, and I was like, and we're all lined up, chained up to each other. I'm looking around like, he doesn't even speak English. What am I supposed to do? The guy that was in my cell had to be my translator. And then he translated for me, and it said that once I pay them, I've got 7 days to leave the country. Nah, they threw me in another cell. And then when they threw me in the next cell now, there was like little kids in there, like 14 years old. And I was like, yo. And there was some old man that looked like he was gonna die. I was like, yo. And then there was an African brother and an Asian brother. And it was just like, nah, I'm not feeling this. This is not the place to be in right now. So the guards were like, if you wanna go to the main prison in Bangkok so you can be like leave the country, then you have to pay us. Everyone's getting paid. Everyone. Yeah. Every guard and their dog is getting paid. So it's like, okay, cool. So I told the guys in the cell and they was like, nah, they're overcharging you. It's half of that. This is what this brother's paying. And I was like, so I asked the guard and he's like, yeah. So I paid him what everyone else is paying. Mm-hmm. So I drove 14 hours from Mesai to Bangkok overnight, handcuffed to a Malaysian guy. Mm. And like in the back of a van. And if he fell asleep and pulled his wrist, my cuff will pull and get tighter and vice versa. Yeah. And when he's going toilet, I have to turn around and I'm chained to him like this and vice versa. It was just, I was just like, nah, this is not life. This is not life. And then when we get to the cell in Bangkok now, so 5 a.m, we're in Bangkok. We're in this massive international prison. So we're downstairs, we're in the holding bay. Right. These guys, the guards are just shouting at us in Thai. It's like, do I understand you though? Like on the road, like we're all foreigners, or they call them phalanx, and like we're all foreigners. Like, do we understand you though? So I'm looking around, I'm like, how does this work, crack? Like, oh, he's taking off his belt. Here you go, here's the belt. Oh, take off, okay, take off shirt. Oh, hand over phone, here's the phone. It was just like that. That's how I had to learn, like watch what's happening around me. Okay. And then now we're getting shipped into different cells. And then they put me and some other guys in a cell downstairs, a holding cell. And there's like, it was a cell for 50 and it was a box room. And everyone's packed up on tiled floor. It's mad. And then there's a little tuck shop in the corner and there's rats and cockroaches scurrying in the next corner. I was just like, yo. And before I got in that cell, some Thai guard so their system was, for the international prisoners, they will get Thai national prisoners to be the prison guards as their day release, so it helps them to get out of prison. Okay. So this guy looks at me and goes, yo, kicks me, give me money. I looked at him, I was like, yo, not that kind of party. Yeah. And I went straight into my cell, and because I was cool with the guy that ran the cell, the guy looked at me and was like, okay. And he just walked away and left me, and I was like, cool, I'm blessed. And then they threw me upstairs in some next bigger cell, like 70 of us now. It's just a little bit bigger than a box room, packed up like sardines in a tin. 3 toilets for 70 people, 36 different nations. 2 toilets to go pee in, 2 toilets to go toilet in and 1 toilet to pee in. And then you got this basin of water where everyone showers, and I'm not showering until like 1 in the morning when everybody's down in it, because I like my space. I don't like crowds, and I don't need crowds. Yeah. And then, and it's just mad. And it was someone stole my towel. My towel, whole towel. Yeah. He stole my towel, and I was like, nah. And then when I was in there, because I drew, the guys saw that I drew. So the guy that was running the cell and had the shop in the cell, because everyone's making money. The guy that runs the cell makes money because everyone needs to buy toiletries and blah, 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 and X, Y, and Z. So for the first week, nothing from the embassy because they can't come. So I saw them the following Tuesday. They're like, we can't do anything for you because this isn't our jurisdiction. And unless you can get help, you're going to be in here for a minimum of 6 months. I was like, okay. Yeah. So, all right, then. And when I heard that, I was like, what do I do? So, because they came, I had to get them to get access to my phone, and my phone was dead, and I had to charge it the whole time I was sitting there charging my phone, like turn on, because I had my notebooks, like one of them's behind me from Thailand. Yeah. And so I had to take my phone, take out any number that is anybody that's important that can help me right now in this moment, and write it down so I could call from the payphone box in the prison. And I was like, yo, and then I wasn't able to call for the next week. So like, I'm in there for 2 weeks now. And then, I'm calling. And then I call my sister, and it's like 4 a.m, UK time. Right. And then no one knows them in Thailand at this moment. Right. So I'm like, yo, hey, how you doing? And she's like, what's up? It's really early. I'm like, well, first thing, I'm in Thailand. And she goes, what? And I'm like, relax. I ain't got time for you to panic. Just need to tell you something else. I'm in Thailand in Thai prison. She starts panicking, starts going hysterical. She's like, oh my. I'm like, please calm down. I ain't got time for you to I need you to do one thing. Call the embassy, please. That's all I need you to do. Call the embassy. So they know that I've got someone that I can, transfer money through to get here, right? And then she calls the embassy now. The embassy are like, yo, okay, we'll help, blah, blah, blah. But the person who was my caseworker just went on holiday. So they forgot me for an extra week when they got the money now. So I was in there for an extra week. And then when the money got transferred now, the embassy took a quarter of it just to transfer the money. And I was like, oh. So I was short. So I was told that I was supposed to stay in for an extra week. And then this Japanese guy heard my story and he's like, I've got Thai money on me. So like, take that money. It's equivalent of £50. It's nothing. Like, go home tomorrow. And he's like, here you go. He gave me the money, and I was like, thank you. And I paid it right there and then I bought my ticket to go, and I was like, yes. So they took me from my cell to the holding cell that I was originally in. Now this cell was packed out, proper packed. And I was like, yeah, I'm going home, because we had to, leave like 4 a.m. So I stayed up all night. Like, I'm excited, I'm going home. Finally, I'm going home. Yeah. They take us to the airport now. We get to the airport in this van that is see-through, but it's a cage so they can see, and it's smart police so they can see that we're all criminals. Yeah. We get to the airport. Our flight is cancelled. They drive us back to prison, and we're like, what do we do? And then they was like, we don't know, ask the prison officers. And they're like, well, when I got there, I was like, I don't even know what to do, me and this next British guy. And it's like, yo, what do we do? And they was like, okay, cool, you can go tomorrow. And it's perfect. So a next British guy comes down, and all 3 of us go the next day. This guy gets to the airport. We're cool, we're like, we knew what happened yesterday, so we're behaving ourselves, we're best behavior. He, soon as he gets the handcuffs off, runs into the shop, buys alcohol, starts juicing, and then starts acting erratic. And me and the next guy are looking at him like, yo, you don't want to behave, because I ain't going back right now. Because I just got here and I got through the doors. So you best behave. And he's acting erratic on the plane journey, acting erratic, because we had to transfer through India. So we get to Delhi, and he's still acting erratic. And we're like, behave yourself. Please behave yourself. Get to the UK now. And we're like, nah, done. We left him straight. We just left him. We're like, no, you're not with us. And then we left, and yeah, that's how it came
back to life.
Yeah, and then wait, I come back to the UK now, and I'm on the tube, and I'm like, why is everybody so miserable? It's not like they just came out of Thai prison. You chose that job. You chose to commute to that job. Why is your face like this? I'm smiling. You have freedom, and you make these choices, and you're upset. And then, I just didn't understand. So it was like learning everything all over again.
So so that feeling is an interesting feeling of feeling like maybe you're the only one that kind of almost understands how much, like you said, freedom that you have.
Yeah.
So how did that change the way that you interacted with people?
It's hard because, like, for me, it was like in Thai prison, I saw people making a replica chessboard out of a white plain t-shirt and bottle caps, accurate size, everything. The what's it called? The symbols of each piece drawn onto a top of a bottle cap. And I was like, yo, they can make something out of nothing. You've got a home, you've got food in your fridge, you've got heat, you've got water, you've got hot water. What are you complaining about? So my family are like, yo, you're rude. I'm like, I'm not rude. You're just ungrateful. And people couldn't understand that from me, because they're like, you've changed. And I was like, of course I've changed. Like, you grow. The only thing that constant in life is change. And unless you change, you die. And right now, I'm not liking the way you're moving, because if you're saying you want to make something of life, you're not actually moving to make something. You're just complaining and waiting for someone else to hear you complain, and you want to hear yourself complain. I'm like, I ain't got time to listen to you. I want to do something with life. Like, you're just talking. Stop talking now. Get up and do something. You're complaining that this is happening, or that is happening, or you're feeling like this. Change it. And if you don't want to change it, stop talking about it. Because no one wants to hear it.
Let's talk about business now. Right? And I remember you saying something. You saying like, that you've done other bits and pieces in your life.
Yeah.
But now, from what I know you as, is you manage artists.
Yeah.
So, how did that come about?
So when I came back from Thailand, I had
Sorry, how long ago was this?
2017, end of 2017.
Jeez, recent.
Yeah.
Okay, so
like
yeah.
October, November 2017.
Wow.
So right at the beginning of November. So I came back. I had some artists around me that I knew personally, and they wanted to work because when I came back, I got on radio, like how we met, and there was like tell your story and blah blah blah, and I was like, cool, let me go on, and then from then I became a permanent guest. And then because I was in and around the music, I love music. And then they were like, can you help us, blah, 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 because you know how to manage and know how to run a business and stuff like that. So like, cool, perfect, amazing, talented artist, but character weren't right. And I was like, I'm tired of hearing you complaining. So I stopped working with them and started doing my own thing. And then to the point that I found, I met Chrissy January 2019, so I was hosting an event because she's the artist that I'm working with right now, current. So I met her January 2019, I was hosting an event, she came along, and after the show we, all hung out, like the clique that was performing and everyone like that. Right. And we became friends, we built a relationship, built a bond, and I helped her to find a studio, and from then we just became really close. And we just became honest and transparent. So this is what you want to do. All right, this is how you do it. She was like, this is what I'm about. I was like, this is what I'm about. Perfect. We're open, we're transparent. Everybody knows what's on the table, so we can work. So there's no lying. You're not lying to me, I'm not lying to you. And this is what I know. And anything that I learn along the journey, or the gems that I learn along the journey, they're all for you. So here you go. She ran with it. She was like, boom, all right then, I ain't got no excuses. We work, we get up, we do. Like, I was talking about it before, that there was times where like me and Chrissy would have to walk home from like Stoke Newton to near Croydon for 3 hours after a show, after she's performed, hella tired, worn out, and then get up the next day and do another show. And that's how we built the relationship, because we were constantly talking. It was helping her to grow as a person, and then she became the woman who she is because of the choices she made. And yeah, it just flourished, and it keeps flourishing.
And it helps that she's a sick singer as well.
That is just
the maddest voice.
Her voice is just divine. She's divine, like as a human being and as a person, inside and out. But her voice is divine as well.
Yeah, touch on that. So you say that you connected, you ended up kind of almost just being together on a journey.
Yeah.
So how did it get from that to being her manager? Is it something that she's trusted you with assisting her on this journey? Yeah. So she trusted me to assist her on her journey, and we just collaborated, and then we learned that together we could do so much more, because as they say, when two or more are present, God is present. So with the two of us, regardless of what anyone else says, we are capable of everything and anything. And then we just took that and put that into our work ethic, and we put the love into it, we put the passion into it, we put all of us into what we do. And because we did that, we was able to grow. We was able to grow as people, and we're still growing. And we was able to grow as manager and as artists, and to just keep flourishing and unfolding. Putting your manager hat on, right? And you got an artist that comes to you, let's say for example, as a person you're cool, they're cool, like, cause I know that you're not gonna work with somebody that you don't vibe with, or that you don't almost check for their energy. Yeah. Right? So you check for their energy. What would be the first, and obviously you like their music. Yeah. You think they got talent, all of that stuff. What would you say would be the first port of call, or the first actions that you would, and obviously I understand that different artists are going to be at different stages, maybe they got different followers or whatever it is, but as a generic tip or point, what would you say would be the first thing that you as a manager would be interested in pushing forward for them or finding out from them?
The first thing I always look for is character. Character is everything, because the way the way you do one thing is the way you do all things.
Okay.
So if you don't take care of the small, the big is not possible. So those that try to skip the steps and take the elevator will never appreciate the journey. But when you take the steps, you appreciate the journey because you're in it for the longevity. You're not in it to just come in and out and be a one-hit wonder. You're actually in it because you love what you do. You're not trying to gain from it. You're gifting the gift that you were given and repackaging it and sharing it with the world. When you have that within you, and I see that, I'm with that. I will support that wholeheartedly, and that's why with Chrissy I support that wholeheartedly.
So that's. I'm trying to remember. There was a mad quotable that you just said just now. I'm trying to make sure that I remember it.
Taking the gift that you've been given and re-gifting it and sharing it with the world.
That was a good one, but that wasn't the one I was talking about. Don't worry. It'll stay. It'll get to you. It'll stay in my head. Like you do all things the way you do.
Oh, the way you do one thing is the way you do all things.
That's the one. The way you do one thing is the way you do all things. I'll rate that one. What I want to do, because like what I did ask you to do today was to bring some items that represent you. Yeah. And I see that you brought half a library here. So like I've not heard of. Like I like to think I know quite a few books, so I've not heard of any of the books that you brought. So I'm definitely plugged in and listening.
Cool.
Feel free, go for
it. Right now I'm reading Wishes Fulfilled by Dr. Wayne Dyer. So it talks about the power of your mind, the power of what you can do when you start to focus. So it's very similar to the book that I wrote. So it's nice to find a different perspective. So you can move forward with the knowledge of not allowing anything or anyone, whether it be a coronavirus per se, or whether it be a family member, to distract you from your path and your destination, because you've got laser-like focus. So it's along those lines.
So that's Wishes Fulfilled
by Dr. Wayne Dyer. Yeah.
Mastering the Art of Manifesting. Yeah. Okay.
I got a music book because obviously working in music. Yeah. So this is by Anthony Abbas. He's a US music art manager. So he dropped some gems in the book about starting an independent music career. So it's a really cool book. It's a simple read.
Okay.
Why You is a book on interviewing techniques for podcasting and stuff like that in the future. Okay. So putting it out here for you first. Yeah. So it answers 101 questions that you will ask in an interview. Essential Business Law. So this is about company finance, takeovers and mergers. So to grow the business, to grow the brand, to make it bigger, to make it more profitable. Carlos Castanegra, kind of similar to Wishes Fulfilled. This is The Second Ring of Power. So he's got a range of books on the spiritual aspect of life. So to look within and knowing you're enough, and to know that the power that you have within yourself, and with knowing your self-worth and your self-power, you can make anything possible. He's considered okay, so it depends on what culture you come from. So some culture will say witch doctor, some culture will say shaman, some culture will say obia man, so on and so forth. So that's Carlos Castanegra. So these two books are more important to me because they're actually my books. So this book is the book that I had in Thailand. So it's got all my journey, it's got stories, it's got notes, it's got drawings as well. So I can show the drawings. I'll leave the the notes out because it's in pencil.
Yeah, of course.
It's like a lot of notes, a lot of notes.
I can imagine.
So I know people like this because it's cute. So that's the kind of things that I was doing, and I know people like this one as well because of the detail.
Okay.
And final one, the reason why I showed this one is because I actually did this in Thai prison for someone. They wanted to get it as a tattoo.
Okay.
Yeah, angel wings and John 3:16. So yeah, that's this book. So it's got a lot of notes. This book actually ripped my book, which is with the publishers. So all the notes in here, I'll pull it into a book at the end of 2018. And then this one is like my current up-to-date book. So it's like plans, ideas, business plans for all the projects I'm working on. It's got like action plans for my artists. It's got my reviews, my intentions for the next 6 months, and so on and so forth. So that's what each book represents and means to me, and also as a gift from Disney as well. So yeah.
Big. Yeah, so I'm gonna there's at least a couple of those books that I'm definitely gonna try and have a little look at. I don't know why I'm trying to look in your hand, because I can just rewind the footage.
No, I'll show you afterwards anyway. Yeah. You could take pictures.
No, I appreciate it.
It's for me, I like to expand my mind, expand what I'm doing. Yeah. So I want to keep growing and to keep elevating within myself. Mm-hmm. So that's why so many books, and if I get inspired, I can write something down straight away. If I want to read, I can read this book. If I'm not feeling that, I'll read this book. Mm-hmm. If I'm in this mood, and I can draw if I want to as well. So it gives me the flexibility of doing so many things at an instantaneous moment, because it's in the moment I feel it.
Put the ball in your court.
Yeah.
And say, almost give you the floor.
Okay.
And say, no such thing as too much information.
Yeah.
I want you to share something that you think is essential for people to know, either about you or something that you know that you think is essential for people to know.
Yeah. There's no such thing as too much information, because the reality is we've got so much information right now that if everybody took life seriously, they'll be skinny, rich and happy. Because at the access of our phone, we've got access to Google, YouTube and all other platforms where we can get access to anything. Mm-hmm. But the reality is, it doesn't matter how much information we have, it doesn't mean people are going to implement it in their lives. And that's what's important. And like the important quotable that you said earlier, the way you do one thing is the way you do all things. So if you're not implementing gratitude into your life, then how can you have more things to be grateful for? If you're just implementing complaining in your life, then you'll have more to complain about. So what do you want to see? Do you want to see a world where everything's burning and being destroyed? Or do you want to see a world that spins in the middle of space around several other planets, around a massive star that's in the middle of nowhere, spinning around another constellation that spins around another constellation, and it never goes out of sync and never goes out of balance? So is it that bad? Or do we make it that bad in the stories that we tell ourselves?
So that sounds like a message of gratitude.
Yeah.
All right.
We live in a generation where you can do a year's worth of shopping and stay at home and be okay. It's the most safest time in human history ever.
Mm-hmm. I hear that. I definitely hear that. Yeah. And it's interesting because at this point of time now, with all this scaremongering, if I would call it, but all of that that's going on at the moment, it's good to hear a message of optimism. That's probably the word I was looking for. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm going to put the socials all in the description, so don't worry about that. But definitely let the people know, your socials, man.
Well, everyone that's watching, tuned in, thank you so much, firstly and foremost. Secondly, thank you for too much information. I'm Agent Soulman on all platforms. So Agent Agent Soulman Soulman, all platform. You'll find me Twitter, Insta, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, everywhere. Yeah,
Alright.
Spotify, Apple Music,
all of that good stuff.
everywhere.
Yeah, and also as well, just because I think her voice is so sick, definitely.
Yes.
You can definitely plug your artist, man.
Yeah.
So definitely.
If you love soulful music, and even if you don't, have a listen for yourself. But seriously, go and check out Chrissy X_Day X. So CHRISSYX_DAYX. Otherwise, Chrissy Day on YouTube. And yeah, you can find her in my bio as well, and me in her bio. So yeah.
Big up, man. Once again, appreciate you, my bro. Love every time.
Appreciate you too. Love, light, and blessings to everyone, man. Have a beautiful, beautiful year 2020. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah.